Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Friday, July 8th. And you can see some cloudy, hazy conditions out there this morning, a little fog from all the rain we had last night. And we did pick up quite a bit of rain across many locations across the area. Some of the areas around Lansing, Charlotte, and some of those areas not quite as much rain. Although that station is down, we'll have to take a look to see what they exactly got for rainfall. Our Jasper station's down due to wind damage as well. And we even had some pretty good winds here in the Breckenridge area as well. And the headlines for today will be more severe storms are possible this afternoon as that cold front comes crashing into this warm, muggy air. We expect storms to develop, and they could be on the severe side. I think the best chance for that will be around that 2 to 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock time frame here as the storms begin in the west early in the afternoon to move across the state. Some of those could be very strong with some damaging wind and potentially large hail. And again, we'll keep an eye on that. Don't be surprised to see severe thunderstorm watches issued over the area later this afternoon, especially once you get east of US 131. Our normals for the day is 84 for high. Our normal low is 58. You can see back in 1936, we had a high temperature of 105 degrees. So very warm back then. And of course, the 1930s were some of the warmest, were one of the warmest decades ever recorded. You can see some of the wind damage. This is from Wheeler, about a mile east of my location here at Ransom Road, where a big tree limb fell on power lines there. And if you go east into Saginaw County, many people are without power from there off to the east, where a lot of wind damage was reported last night. If we take a look at the webcam from Blissfield's Probe Shack, you can see some puddles out there. They got about 1.6 inches of rain down at Blissfield, with some areas picking up in that part of the state as much as 2 to 2.5 inches of rain, according to Doppler radar estimates. If we look at the current conditions across the MAC area, you can see temperatures quite muggy out there, well into the 60s and across the Great Lakes. Again, 60s, even some low 70s across the southwest part of the state. So again, a very warm, sticky day. And as that cold front crashes into this warm, muggy air, you can expect some explosive thunderstorms to develop. I think early this afternoon across the west or eastern part of Wisconsin, western part of the lower peninsula, and they'll really intensify as they move east as the peak heating of the day occurs. If we look at the radar from last night and early this morning, you can see as we put this in a rocking motion, you can see those thunderstorms. And once they cross mid-Michigan, they move across to the eastern part of the state and become pretty impressive, again, with lots of heavy rainfall in certain areas. Again, most areas picked up a lot of beneficial rain, certainly a multi-million-dollar rain for our farmers. If we look at the weather map for this morning, you can see the low pressure system this morning across central and eastern Wisconsin with the cold front back to the southwest. Again, it's this cold front that's going to be moving into this very warm and juicy air. Again, the slower the timing of this cold front, the better chance of severe storms. Again, right now it looks like the best bet is going to be across the eastern 2/3 or 3/4 of the lower peninsula, where again, some of these storms could be quite intense with strong damaging wind and large hail. As we move into tomorrow, you can see we're going to have a really nice weekend shaping up. Saturday, the cold front will be well off to the east. Sunshine will return and cooler conditions with drier air. Looks like temperatures only in the 70s on Saturday, but then we'll begin to warm up pretty quickly. We'll be up around 80 or the low 80s on Sunday, well into the 80s on Monday, and maybe push 90 by Tuesday and Wednesday. And that'll be our next chance of thunderstorms. And then beyond that, that cold front early to middle part of next week, there's some issue of where that's going to hang up. We expect that thing to stall out. And again, if it stalls out to the south, we'll be okay. But if it stalls out across the area, we could see some more heavy rains later next week as well. So something we're going to want to keep an eye on as we're trying to get wheat harvest done. And again, we're going to continue to be quite warm. In fact, for the following week, we could see temperatures in the 90s. So we're going to add to our 90-degree totals here over the next couple of weeks as we're going into a very, very warm pattern here, again, for week 2 and week 3. And by Sunday, again, that low pressure system and cold fronts well off to the east. High pressure dominating the region, and we'll continue to see sunshine on Sunday and Monday. Again, so it looks like a nice weekend once we get past these storms today. If we look at the precipitation on the, this is actually the next 24 hours, not 7 days. You can see the basin average, not that impressive with the amount of rain, but certainly if you get a thunderstorm this afternoon, you could get some very torrential rainfall. Don't be surprised to see some isolated areas pick up over an inch of rain with these intense storms that we do expect to develop across the area. As far as severe weather, you can see from the Storm Prediction Center, much of the area under a slight risk. And if we break it down, about a 15% chance across much of the Ohio and Tennessee valleys up into the lower Great Lakes for wind damage. And as far as hail, the best chance of large hail is going to be found right here across much of the MAC area, with about a 15% chance of a large hail in a 25-mile radius of any place within this range. So again, we're going to probably see some severe thunderstorm watches issued for parts of the area here as we get into the afternoon. Thanks for stopping by and have a great day, a great weekend, and 73s to all.